Welcome back everybody here to our main stage for our grand final! LGD going up against MUFC. It is China versus Malaysia. And of course, when you are here in Malaysia, you want to see a Malaysian team here in the grand final. We just had them see Orange for Malaysia take third position. Can MUFC, the one team who's been completely undefeated in this entire competition, can they remove LGD, the Chinese? They've met once before during this competition right here on the main stage, and they're going to meet here again, of course. In our last time these two teams met, LGD completely disintegrated, MUFC completely disintegrated LGD. Took about 20 minutes, but you kind of knew it was over by about 10. I am Toby1. I will be your solo cast for today. J10 unfortunately has gotten sick, so it's just going to be me and only me, just with you, casting this matchup. Let's jump ourselves inside the game because the draft has already begun. So LGD, they will be in this best of 3 matchup over on the Dire side. MUFC will be over on the Radiant side. It is MUFC already banning out both our Magnetor as well as Batrider. Templarus has been banned out here by LGD. We are going as stock standard as possible as far as this draft does look. They are not going for anything out of the ordinary. This is the way we've been standardly playing this entire competition. It has been basically, if you can, delay the game, cancel out the BKB heroes, and just push down towers when the timing is right. And it's all about that decision making to make that timing, because we saw in our last game some interesting decisions being forced to be made by both Mythtrust as well as Orange as far as who would go in, who would come out, and then who had the pushing power. But hey, Yamatar, when he's over on that Lashrak, you just don't want to stop it. So now we finally get to have a bit of a look into our draft. We get to see the joy of it all. And it is going to be LGD taking their sweet time on that second ban. They're not 100% sure what they want to remove. Like, with this ban pool, there's a lot of things to come through. And they're going to ban out the Undying. So we are probably going to see that NA slip through the cracks. Rubik as well. HY, the captain of MUFC, he is the man picking it up. Of course, we did actually have Zhao 8, I believe is the man who was talking before, just talking about as far as MUFC, like they've kind of like stepped into this new league with HY as their captain. He's quite happy to put stand-in next to his tag as far as player, but really this guy has gelled so well with any team. He's been standing in for so many teams out there that really he's just everywhere. He's absolutely everywhere, but combining up with Sharky, Ling, Net, and Ohio, it's just a fantastic combination, and this team's just giving us some amazing Dota, and that's what we're looking for here in the grand final. All we want is amazing Dota. LGD, of course, these guys are all about amazing Dota. These were the guys that were basically, when it came to the international, completely undefeated through the group stage, and then, of course, hitting a couple of snags as far as the playoffs were concerned. And I'm pretty sure they don't want to relive that one. Put that out of their minds. They're here at the Asia, competing for a very large prize pool, because big shout outs to everyone who's been involved for this one, both TGX as well as E-Club, the guys who make Dota 2 come to Southeast Asia, as well as Rapture have been working on the production for all you at home, so you can enjoy that one. So LGD, we already see their pickups, Lone Druid as well as NA. I was saying NA was going to slip through, same with Rubik. Rubik was the one that HY said, I'd rather have this one. He's been playing that Lone Druid in 2 of our stage games for him already, and this time around to be facing it up. And of course, we'll look to see if Sylar is the man who takes that very hard farming role and then just unstoppable player as we get into the later portion of the game. And NA support role normally, and I don't think we'll be seeing any kind of difference here for LGD. But HY's now got to decide, what do they do up against this Lone Druid? We've seen 2 approaches. One has not worked and one has. The one that hasn't worked is the one where we just basically try and counter push a Lone Druid. And up against the Lone Druid Bear, it doesn't really happen. The approach that has worked is basically Nukage and focusing on the Bear. So Coddle, there's already our first counter push, and Brewmaster gets to appear for the first time on the main stage. One of those heroes that he's actually been banned twice on the main stage, but for the first time picked up. When it comes to team fights, when it comes to control, Brewmaster is basically the king. Able to pop himself out into his little Brewling form. Have his Earth Panda to stun, his Storm Panda, I can't say Panda, Brewling, to basically Cyclone. It's like having an easy Yule Scepter once you hit that level 6. As well as having the Fire Brewling that does the extra damage for you. So between the three of them, you can basically easily control two heroes and keep that chain control going. If you want to take one thing out, you can do so. So that Lone Druid Bear has no effect when it's up in the air. And Bounty Hunter is the pickup from LGD. So we get to have not a passive Bounty Hunter. We shouldn't see a passive Bounty Hunter. He's up against Coddle and Rubik. This is a Bounty Hunter that will go, hey, Rubik and Coddle, I'm a physical damage kind of guy. I'm pretty sure I can kill you pretty easily. What are you going to do with me, Coddle? You can, like, channel for a little bit and then attack with the blast? Bounty Hunter will just walk himself around it. Rubik can at least control the Bounty Hunter a little bit more, but at the end of the day, he has to get that Fade Bolt off and reduce the damage of Bounty Hunter. But you know he's going to be attacking hard. Janata through Shuri Toss. It's a lot of quick damage. But the way MUFC have got their lanes already, either it's going to be a solo mid Rubik, or it's Rubik and Coddle as supports. Coddle can go on the off lane, but I wouldn't highly doubt it. Up against a Lone Druid, it's still doable. It's still very doable up against a Lone Druid. The only problem is that when Lone Druid gets too strong and the Bear's able to tank up enough, Coddle will only be able to destroy out the creep wave and not the Bear itself. So stopping the push on the tier 1 tower would be rather difficult. We see Anti-Mage and Leshrac now being banned out. No late game farming up. HY Anti-Mage again. Thank you very much for that one. Leshrac though being banned out. Nice aggressive hero as far as coupling up between NA as well as the Leshrac. Easy combination between those two supports. I'm still interested to see if we're going to see like a hero like Lena being picked up. Look for that burst damage up against the Coddle as well as the Rubik, because Rubik does give a little bit of that null feel, but it's not enough that will basically make you go, well, okay, let's not pick up a magical damaging hero. Even though they've already got a lot of physical damage, having that magical burst damage is fantastic, and they're going to need that lockdown. They're going to need that burst damage to shut down the Brewmaster. It's always the biggest key when you're going up against a Brewmaster. You need continuous stuns to basically chain off on him, or else he'll pop that ultimate form and you just don't kill him. It's the biggest problem with Brewmaster. If you can't kill him before he pops the ultimate form, then it's like you never even did damage to him until he finally converts back into that bear form, and then you can finish him off. But in the meantime, the ultimate form would have probably split up your entire team. Void being banned out, it's just anything which can deal with directly the Lone Druid. But even then, Faceless Void as well as Anti-Mage, they have issues with Lone Druid. The second that Entangle hits, they have a lot of troubles, but Faceless Void is one that causes a little bit more troubles than others, through that Chronosphere as well as the ability to backtrack a lot of abilities. Any kind of burst damage they want to throw out just won't work for him. HY also taking out the Jakiro. It's another hero that can couple up with NA stun. Hold the Brewmaster in position. I'm kind of almost waiting for a bit of a puck play from LGD. Just throw him in the middle lane. At this point, Brewmaster is there, so if LGD want to, they can also run a melee here in the mid lane. Throw Lone Druid to actually go the solo mid. Bounty Hunter can take the off lane. Or LGD is still capable with this lineup too of running an aggressive lane. Leave the Bounty Hunter on that off lane. Or run him on the safe lane, in fact. So for LGD, they throw him up on the top lane, then combine NA with two others on that bot. Invoker is the ban out, so they're still looking towards that mid solo now. The chain supports with NA were the first two priorities, and Luna also taken out here by Zhao 8. So the final big hero that is possible to carry this in very late game, not going to happen. They want mid-game power. Just give me an SF, HY. You know you want to. Give me that mid-game burst damage. Someone that can really stick it to the man. And something like that, like you actually get an SF up with a decent amount of farm, and then instantly you're looking at like Lone Druid's Bear getting right-clicked to death. And at this point, LGD don't have a great hero, and Necrolite is going to be the pick up here for HY. This is a huge amount of stability. Even if Lone Druid wants to bring down the Necrolite, in the amount of time it would take to bring him down after a couple of death pulses, the support's going to be arriving in there very quickly. It's also like Brewmaster drops down low, you throw out his Lone Druid, you drop him down even lower, then that Reaper Scythe is able to come down from Necrolite and get rid of the Lone Druid. Or Bounty Hunter, or NA, anybody that's even close to death, Necrolite can focus on. And he's one of these heroes that, well, if you go back about 2 years in Dota, he disappeared from the scene. Man, it goes the changes to Bloodstone. Actually, that's actually about 3-4 years back in Dota. Oh, it makes you feel old. But it makes you also think just how powerful Necrolite was back then. He did get changed up a little bit in recent times. It's all about that Sadist change around and just the huge amount of mana he's capable of regaining as well as life. He is a very, very powerful hero these days. And not just because of items, because of his abilities. So got to see those levels coming up from him. And maybe even a safe lane. Can throw him in that middle lane. It depends where they want to put Brewmaster. Brewmaster versus Bounty Hunter. 1v1. Happy with that one. Necrolite, Coddle, and Rubik can actually team up together and try and stick it to the Lone Druid. Force him back off the lane. Any harassment from the bear will be instantly countered by the Necrolite Death Pulse. And Death Prophet as well by HYHY. The Beastmaster pickup is there. LGD last time they had that, they ran him solo mid. So if we go with history, it was Beastmaster solo mid, it was Bounty Hunter on the solo lane, and then Lone Druid and NA teaming up together with somebody else. But of course, Bounty Hunter and Lone Druid can swap around. And now that we actually have the Death Prophet pickup, it does push an aggressive tri-lane. It is an aggressive tri-lane we're looking at. And it's even more controlled too. Beastmaster wants to roar, Bounty Hunter wants to move around inside the Ghost Walk, NA wants to cast an ability. But Death Prophet's got silence, Brewmaster's got lockdown, Rubik's got lockdown, Coddle has got the ability as well. Get that blinding light, get that mana leak up and running, and Necrolite will give all the life back again. And just remember too, we've got Necrolite and Death Prophet. The longer these team fights go, Necrolite will just pump it up. There's my leanest pickup I was looking for, to combine up with the NA. So this will be our game 1 lineup. But just the fact that we'll see how Sharky up on that Death Prophet, it is going to be one hell of not only pushing on towers, but it's pure, like, so much physical damage, so much lockdown, so much silence from MUFC. It's a beautiful lineup, but LGD, they've also got a lot that will go through BKB. Actually not even going to help them in this scenario. All they want is just chain stuns. NA stun, Entangle setup, Bounty Hunter, some mini stun Shuritas, Beastmaster Roar, lean a couple up stun bursts. The Beastmaster, lean at NA, they've got to be the combination to kill off the Brewmaster, but they're going to basically blow everything they've got in the Brewmaster, and then Necrolite as well as Death Prophet will be walking around with more life than God. So you got to try and bring them down from that. We'll kick ourselves off because this is the grand final. We get to cast off Malaysia MUFC, and then LGD for China. LGD during the group stages, we kind of almost felt like it would be possible that they would get eliminated from the group stages. And for a Chinese team, the shame. Well, not really that much of a shame because you would have been beaten by an Australian team. So no shame at all. No shame at all. Good old Invasion N9, even though it was basically an Australian-Malaysian morphing combination. Let's run through very, very quickly who gets what. So we'll have Ned up on our Keeper of the Light. Put Sharky onto Death Prophet, formerly known as Crobulus. Ling gets to take up his role as the Rubik. And then Ohio, Brewmaster for him. And that leaves HYHY, the stand-in captain, as the Necrolite for MUFC. And over through China, SC supporting Lina. Sylar, he is on that Lone Druid. DDC gets to go onto the NA Zhao 8 Beastmaster. And that leaves our last one. When LGD were up on the main stage for their match before, they got to play one of the most powerful heroes in the game, Magnetor. And he was off-lane solo. This time around he'll be Bounty Hunter. And it's still, the lanes get to be revealed out sometime soon. It's all about the rune check, it's all about the warding very early on. Make sure you got that vision around the map. And the bear will say hello to Ohio, they'll see that double damage rune on the top. Which already means there could be some problems up on the top lane for LGD, depending on who's the man who gets to walk around with it. But our mid lane will be the first one to come in, so then we can start revealing and talking about our lanes. We've already got one being revealed, and it's Yao pulling that creep camp up. So easy experience, no one's here in the jungle to stop him. And puts HYHY, solo bot, middle lane, Sharky versus Zhao 8. And Zhao 8's not going to enjoy this. Even if he hits that level 6 Raw, it's not going to work out nicely for him. And even Ling comes prepared. Big boy scout up here on the top lane. Sentry wall is down. Get rid of that vision. Make it so Sylar has to put that bear into some kind of risk, some kind of jeopardy. And if he's the one that wants to get the farm, he's got to take the damage on the bear. But Sylar won't care too much about that. Maybe a little bit more in these early stages. I see Ned up here too, so it is the tri-lane. There's the full tri-lane up here on the top lane. HYHY doesn't look like he's having a great time on this bottom lane. Also had to tank up that creep wave just a little bit too much. Still got the death pulse up his sleeve, just in cases. But it's just the amount of damage that Yao was able to do to him. Starting off with like Janata as well as going into that Ghost Walk. Last right clicks and HYHR will try and force him back a little bit. But Yao also with our Stout Shield. Base damage only 52 points for Necrolite up against the 56 for Bounty Hunter. Plus of course that bonus 150% damage on the Janata hit. So dropping HY down bit by bit can work for him. Meanwhile Sharky versus Beastmaster in the mid. Crypt Swarm, normally the thing that used to farm up. It's that easy burst damage, but Beastmaster also can cause a lot of troubles with that lane. Ling, Ohio, pulling the creep wave down a little bit. Trying to help that Brewmaster find his farm. Looks to be building up very, very quickly to a Ring of Basilius. And that'll give all the mana in the world for Rubik as well as Net to pop off what they want to do. Because they do also have Chakra going to work towards that. And actually, no, he buys up boots to start with. So it looks like it's going to be Tranquil boots instead. Still looking for that initiation up on Sylar. They know that they don't want to get in too close. DDC not having Spike Carapace just yet. Time to go Mana Burn as well as the Impel to start with. He would have popped that Spike Carapace when he saw that blast coming in. Well then again, could he? That dewarding was already done. So there's no real way for LGD to surprise him. But Coddle is definitely watching that pull so closely. And this is the difficult thing. Like, you're trying to do this pull and all Link's going to do is let off one Fade Bolt, push him back a little bit. Coddle Blast also going to cause a little bit of damage. If LGD just stay a little bit too close, that will happen. And Ohio, he's in on the tower. And that's only because the creep wave is up with it. Meanwhile, on the bottom lane, HY trying to force Yao back a little bit further. Trying to keep my eyes as close as I can on this farm. And the cake is still going to the Death Prophet as well as the Beastmaster in the mid lane. As you would expect. We're running double bottle here, so we're spamming out of abilities. So getting denies on that middle lane a lot harder. Comparison. Oh, hello Mana Burn from DDC. Actually a lot more of a pain than what you'd think. The Chakra magic, it still costs you 75 to let it go. And until they get it back up and running again, it's going to be difficult. I haven't even got it up and running yet. He hasn't got level 2 yet. About to pop level 2. And there it is. So Chakra now got to keep popping off. And this will cancel off that Mana Burn. Oh, Zhao Wei really low on life. But not enough to bring him down. That's only 2 points up in Crypt Swarm. He put that 1 point up into the Witchcraft instead. With all the bonuses you get from it, there's definitely a reason to do it. And already that 1 point in silence too. He's preparing for a gank, really. Because this Lina can rotate at any time. And when that happens, and Beastmaster's level 6, anything is possible. Yao and HY trading some blows, or actually HY's not trading anything. The only thing he's really giving is just that aura. The Sadist aura. As well as the Heartstopper, he's put both up. Oh. So just in case, it's just Bounty Hunter walking next to him. He'll still be affected by this. And that Heartstopper aura will make it a lot harder for the Bounty Hunter to really function on that bottom lane. And then again, Beastmaster is level 6, and we saw it from LGD before. He is level 6, instantly rotates bottom lane. It's exactly what he wants to do. At this point, he can't really do it, because Sharky's keeping him too low. He needs to keep those bottle charges flying, get that level 6 as fast as he possibly can. And the MUFC are really putting a lot of investment up in towards this top tri-lane. Coddle Blast will hit, but that's only a level 1 blast. That's very minimal damage. And Silas still able to farm on top of the tower. Well, Sharky pops level 6 now in the mid lane. And Zhao Wei, it's all he can do. He has to move back and farm with Axis. If he comes in close and Sharky is capable of getting a Crypt Swarm off on him and 2 right clicks, that should be the remainder of his life gone. I say should. Brewmaster, again, really sticking close on this tower. He doesn't want to lose a single point of experience. This entire tri-lane sitting up at 3 levels. And again, it's the same the other way. So we'll have all those level 6s pop at the same time up on the top. Brewmaster, actually probably at the same time as Sylar, but Brewmaster is a lot more important. Because once Brewmaster pops that level 6, we know exactly what happens. He pops ulti, they dive the tower, and everybody dies. That's just what happens. Zhao Wei missing from this middle lane. Sharky, he's got to be remembering. He's got to know what happened. HY, look, he's not even in the lane. Yao able to get all the farm he wants to on that bottom lane. Huge amount of space. He's farming under his own tier 1 tower as well, so it's very, very safe for him. The only downside is this creep wave's going to push out a little bit faster. And that's a little bit more of a frustration. And HY is probably going to make matters worse. NA and Sharky doing the do-si-do on the top rune, but Not going to go in at any point. Top rune doesn't spawn there, which means down on bottom. Beastmaster already showing his movement back out again. How's Ohio looking? Still only halfway through his level 4. That level 6 too far off. Death Prophet, I think she kind of wants to push that middle lane. She can force it too. Beastmaster, if he lets off Roar and Axes, Sharky's going to get all of his life back anyway, and he can do damage to the tier 1 tower. The only problem he's going to have is if these creep wave just, like, destroys itself. Then he can't stay close enough towards the tower, because he's not tanky. We've got 4 points in armor and 800 life points. It's really not a hell of a lot. But then again, what LGD should also be very, very cautious of is what happens when Sharky rotates top. You combine that Brewmaster ultimate with the Cropulus ultimate, they will not only take that fight in top lane, they will also be able to take the tower. And that's what it's all about, converting and pushing Sylar back further so we can't get this level of farm. Even seeing a little bit of extra space being given, like Ling is here, but Net, he's a long way away from this Brewmaster. DDC is going to show himself, and Brewmaster not as confident anymore. HY, really, he's been stalled up in this bottom lane. Bounty's got so much space to get this farm. And Necrolite, said before, his abilities are good. His abilities are great, it gives him a lot more strength, but he also kind of wants to have some items. And he's had that mana pool behind it. But it is being offset a little bit, just because this middle lane, there goes your Roar, Sharky to start with. There's got to be a Burris, a little bit of Impale to go with it. Sharky, he will go down. First blood spilled by LGD. Very simple rotation. Haystream made it happen with Zhao Wei able to walk himself around. And there was no ward really looking for it, or else he would have known to fall back. And NA, there's only one hero to rotate from that top lane. And this tri lane of MUFC, they don't see it coming. They got, like, as far as vision goes, I can't really comment on it, but they're not in this region here. And that's where they want to be. They want to be there. Because then they know when the rotation happens. Then they can give warning to the other lanes. Calling miss, it doesn't even work for that top lane. Because you could be pulling this creep camp up at any time. And because of that, the middle lane is very susceptible to ganking. While Sharky is getting some great farm in that middle lane, you give First Blood over, you give the levels over to Beastmaster, he's now level 8.5, he's completely leveled up with Sharky. All he had to do is just rotate it around. Nice little bit of a side pull happening. It's just going to be a trade of experience, but Brewmaster getting closer and closer towards that level 6. Yeah, still able to free farm that bottom lane. This is just MUFC. It's almost like all they want to do is just wait until that Brewmaster ultimate is up and then make a play. And until then, everything doesn't matter. Until then, they don't care. All they want to do is just find a little bit of farm, get some Brewmaster up, and then Cropulus make her as powerful as possible. That's all they really want to do. And in the meantime, HY is forced to fend for himself. He bumped a little bit. There goes the Roar. Yao, there's already the track up. So another track kill here on the bottom lane. Death Pulse will keep him alive a little bit longer, but not that long. The damage is more than enough from LGD to finish the job. And now, Ohio, he's up a long, long way. He's trying to initiate here on SC. He's got to be careful of that Entangle. Living life on the edge. Impale is there too. There's the pick up and throw down, but the Brewmaster already on the sideline. All of LGD will be stunned. But we've got to, yeah, no follow through. SC couldn't get his stun off. And DDC already used his cooldown timer was more than enough. But heroes going down in both the lanes. Middle lane Crop is forcing out the tier 1 tower. Instantly to the face, Brewmaster cops the swarm. Collar Blast helping out, and Sharky, Oldie will wear off now. Net though wants to have a crack at the mid. Another Crypt Swarm, but Zhao 8 able to move fast enough away. Keep the right click on the tower, but not going to be enough. And Rubik wants to get a pick up on DDC. Won't be able to get him up on a ledge right now. And he can't get a pick up to control him, but Sharky kind of wants to do a little bit of damage and then return. Spike Carapace. Or in the words of Doa, Armor Bug. Can't believe he actually let that stay in my head. But 0-3 up on the board. This middle lane push, still Crypt Swarm and Rubik. Lena showing herself in the mid. So that rotation is there. And ain't Lena as well as Beastmaster. The 3 heroes to stop this unstoppable push. They know they can leave Lone Druid alone. He's level 7 now. He's got Oldman form. He's got 4 points up in that bear. We've got Demolish and Entangle just by himself. He's able to push out this top lane. He doesn't need any help at all. Ohio just wants to stand his lines, but he's going to need help right now because Yao, another track kill. Easy snipe off here for LGD. At the same time though, into middle lane. Raw to go. Sharky, stun, Lena to start with, and DDC to chain off with. Rubik tried the pick off and Feybolt, but The kill has already happened, and LGD, they are the ones controlling this map. They're still going to try and claim some towers. That is the main weakness in their lineup when it comes to the other 4 heroes, apart from, obviously, the Lone Druid. But their main weakness is just pushing us forward after they've already taken the fight. But they're diving the tower, they're nuking the creep waves down, and now they're actually caught between a rock and a hard place. Tier 1, Tier 2 tower. But they got a lot of support, the creep wave comes in, fortification to pop. And maybe that chance to bring it down. Ohio comes in nice and close. And that will also push back with the Coddle Blast, but look at that damage. Yao destroys it, long range done, but Yao will not want to stick around. There's a lot of support coming in. Sharky is here. Already here, LGD calling out, fall back, fall back, fall back. Don't be part of this engagement. Krob still wants to push out this middle lane. Brewmaster's here. Ultimate is here for him as well. This is danger time for LGD. They can't lock him down right now. They don't have the ability to really do so. Krob only will pop. Tower will take a fall. Attempted denial by Lena, but never going to happen with that many spirits on the field. But there's nothing else coming out from Sharky. He pops the almond, he gets the tower, but there's no follow through from here. There's no extra tower, there's no pressure being done. Brewmaster rotated to try and get a kill with that level 6. But there's just no joy. And HY now up on the top lane. Looking to force it out here. And hello Spirits, but goodbye Spirits as well. They all go back inside of Sharky. And Brewmaster looking to hold that middle lane. Feeling a little bit of pressure. Keep your eyes very, very open. Smoke breaks here in the mid. And the Tier 1 tower will go down. No fortification was used before. Track's already up. Because with Brewmaster on, we don't really care about that, but he cares a lot more about 4 heroes staring him down. If he's able to bring down this top, then he will. Bear's still looking for that entangle. Oh, we've got Arcanes and building up towards that mech for Necrolite. Looking to force the Tier 1 tower on the top lane, but without the Krob ulti, it's just not doable. But the Krob ulti has a pretty low cooldown. It's one of these things, whenever you see a Krobulus on the field, the second that ulti comes off cooldown, the team's got to be in position to make the most of it. And that's either pushing Tier 1 towers, it's looking for team fights. It's about making the most out of that timing of the ultimates. It's the reason why they're called ultimates. They're meant to be respected, they're meant to be used wisely. Apart from Lone Druid, he's just meant to get fatter when he uses it. That's it. But look at that farm already up on Sylar. Tranquil boost to start with, and we know he's been farming up on that top lane. And MUFC knows it as well. So the rushing Radiance is a likely option. Boar has a little bit of a scout. Defense to start with. Another premature Coddle Blast. I have a feeling that maybe a hero is coming in a little bit closer. Ooh, who's having a bit of a poke just then? Yao just saying hello at the back lines. Track's coming up, so Ling already knows. Bounding into the neighborhood. Same time, looks like HY goes down towards the bottom lane. And with that TP, it definitely tells LGD that they can actually take 2 towers with this TP. That's 1 minute before Necrolite can return towards this top lane. And that's more than enough time for LG not only to melt through 1 Tier 1 tower, but also a second. Coddle Blast is going to slow it down a little bit. Yao over on the side there, being spotted out. DDC trying to use that, it's a little bit of Spy Carapace to do a little bit of damage back with the Coddle Blast. But just through the Fade Bolt as well as the Coddle Blast, they're holding LGD at bay for the moment. Yao again just walks in. He pulls the aggro of the creep wave, goes invis, so he'll lose it. Kind of thought he might actually hold that a little bit longer so LGD can easily push out that top tower. There's the Roar to go out on top of Ling. Look at the instant damage bringing him down. Even the stun doesn't have time to land then. He was already dead, and the Tier 2 tower to go. MUFC, really interesting choice for them. They did not want to take the team fight. They wanted more farm up in this Necrolite. It almost feels like until he gets that mech charge, they just don't want to fight it. And then leave Ohio up here on the top lane to find his farm. He's walking around with a Blink Dagger right now, so he's got what he needs. He's found that farm to get the Blink Dagger. But he maybe just wants a little bit more levels. Maybe they still can't make the most out of this Krob ultimate. D-warding, so finally reveals that the fact the Sentry Ward was there. And so that was what was looking at Yao before when he was trying to jump in behind. Maybe wondering why he was seen, and Sentry Ward is the reason why. That's just good warning coming out from Coddle. And Sylar, now with that Sacred Relic, 15 minutes in. Looks like the Bear's gone. Enjoying just a respite. Before Sylar will bring him back. And more than likely he'll probably return with that Radiance recipe. And then MUFC, they'll have to really rely on all this extra heal to come out from the Necrolite through the mech as well as through the Death Pulse. Don't have to worry too much about that Radiance burn during the engagements. But while this bottom tier 1 tower is being pressured out, Sylar will easily take it. Tier 1 tower on the top lane won't be as easy to take. Fortification is there for the Dire side. Wasn't used for the Radiant. But it is going to be a tier 1 for a tier 1. That is the trade. Or maybe more for MUFC. Their choice, but they know Lone Druid is still pressuring at that bottom lane. And Radiant's completed up on the bear. Which means now they have to deal with the fact that even if Lone Druid wants to TP himself up towards that top, that Radiance bear can still split push. The effect of the Radiance isn't lost. You go out of range of the Lone Druid and you can't right-click with the bear. But you are capable still of having that Radiance burn push the creep waves out. That's why Lone Druid is such a great split pusher. The only downside is with a rework to his bear, which basically stopped making him first pick material, was basically if the bear does take damage, you can't re-summon him. There was, of course, some other changes around to the bear. But the main thing is just the fact that if you keep doing the damage to the bear and you can bring it down, there's no extra support for that bear. And the Lone Druid won't be there to say, hey, hit me instead. It's not going to happen that way. You have to be up here on the top lane to get hit right now. Track starts off here in Ohio. And he still wants to jump himself inside this engagement. Vendetta, he is level 8, so that is the option. Korea getting deep watered out, so Sentry Ward available. Tracks, though, continue to happen, so all the vision in the world for LGD. And it's worth so much gold, too, when they win these engagements. And all they need to do is go in. There's the Raw, starts up on Ling. They want to get the Rubik. Big jump in by the Brewmaster. Got to get the split, but he's getting done. There's the split now going to happen. Meg charge is up for Necrolite, but Ling, too much damage from that bear. They're still burning down. Leaning with a blast on through. Who can they get off? There's Laguna Blade. One to the next. Necrolite's on the sideline. Yao going to get stunned up. This Brewmaster trying to focus him down. They can't finish the job. He's out of range of the Sentry Ward, but he's back to vision. Meanwhile, Sharky, he's going to take a fall. The rest of LGD splitting up beautifully, and Ohio does kill off the bounty hunter. But a 3-for-1 trade, and they don't take the tower. The Crob ulti was used. It's a great fight for LGD, and this kind of feels like our group stage game, but the shoe is definitely on the other foot. And Zhao Wei back towards that middle lane. Invis room for him now too, so MUFC, they've got to keep their eyes open very, very closely to see where that Beastmaster goes with that. They need sentries, they need vision. Because with that Invis rune, it's an easy setup for the Beastmaster Raw. And no one is immune to that. And the fact that Ohio's ulti is on cooldown for another 2 minutes. It's a long time for Brewmaster not to have this overwhelming confidence. He blinked into 4 heroes that got a perfect clap off. And then tried to split his ultimate, but that Spike Carapace came up from NA and caused him a lot of issues. I mean, he couldn't get that instant control. He couldn't get the instant lockdown. There wasn't anything really from LGD like that they feared. And they won't fear anything more now. Roshan will take a fall. Lone Druid is the man to claim the Aegis of the Immortal as well. 19.5 minutes in, and Roshan goes down. And Lone Druid, of course, he is the man that gets even more money now. How long before we see this Assault Cuirass on Sylar? He was the man known through TI2 as the best farmer in the game. If there was anybody who came anywhere near his gold per minute. Well, Blink now, looking at SC. Leland is a little bit out of position. And then Invis rune instantly popping off from Beastmaster. And Brewmaster got no follow through. He knows he's got no ultimate. SC knows he's got no ultimate. And SC's also got 3 points up in Sun and 4 points up in Slave. So that's huge amounts of burst damage. This can turn around on the Brewmaster. He's walking around with a Blink Dagger. Strength Threads, which does pump him up to about 1200. Which isn't too shabby. But he was also the man that was being protected. And because of that, he has to return a lot more to his team. And right now, there hasn't been enough. During that last engagement, he was the only one. The only kill that's happened so far for MUFC came from Ohio onto the bounty hunter. Got completely separated from LGD. It's the only reason he was able to find that kill. And they split him up with the ultimate. Now, looking to push up that mid lane. Sentry wards go down. They find Yao already. Pick him up, throw him down. Rubik able to steal the Ghost Walk. Jumping in again from Ohio. Ulti is there. Magic Wand. Now the split's going to happen. Already though, Rubik on the sideline. Start going out the bounty on a Beastmaster looking for some kind of opening. There's already the spin up. It's just holding the bear out of position. Keep those stuns going. Sharky Laguna Blade. He's not dead. Yes, he is dead. SC takes care of him. Brewmaster ultimate wearing off in 2 seconds time. And he's going to convert back in again. Now they can go for him, but no, they don't. It's HY. Look completely out of position. Again, another 3-for-1 trade. And Sylar doesn't go down. GG, well played. MUFC says there is no more point. 21 minutes is what this game takes. It is a best of 3 matchup. So LGD takes first game in 21 minutes. Taking the 1-0 advantage in the grand final. MUFC, a team that has not dropped a single game until the grand final, is now knocked down a peg by LGD. And this is just one of those times where you say, wow, doesn't this just give LGD flashbacks to the international too? But again, shoe on the other foot. They were the ones that were completely undefeated. And this time around it is MUFC. So we're going to be back here in a couple of moments' time for a game number 2. LGD going up against MUFC. Will MUFC keep it up for Malaysia and go into a third game? We'll find out. We'll be back.